Hi, this is Dean. Welcome to another edition of Modern Day Thrive. I am one of your hosts tonight, and alongside next to me, right there, this guy over here. This guy over there, George. How you doing, George?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm cropping my head off, so I'm gonna
adjust.
And you are not in the best position either, but we're gonna. So,
we're gonna go with it.
Great night tonight. We're streaming live from the new studios, the new podcasting PFX Media's brand spanking new podcasting studios.
Back to the big horseshoe table.
That is us right there, our new podcasting studio. And we'll have more visuals, but I just didn't get around to it tonight. So, if you're happy with what you're hearing, if you're not happy, I don't care. But please like, follow, and share. If you're not happy, then you definitely need to be chatting in live. Tell us why you're not happy. If you're just not happy about the world in general, you know.
You're just taking your brother on now.
He might pop in. Likely he's out there listening, you know. So, yeah. We're in new digs.
That's
so
right. It's been a while.
Big space and lots of space. So we're actually going to try, maybe if we have time later on, try doing some VR in the new space and be able to walk all the way across the room in VR would be just a cool thing.
Got plenty of room for a boxing ring in here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. We could do our own thing here. Yeah, we could do our boxing. Yeah. And that's coming up, too. I think we might be doing this at a local bar.
Big bar, too.
Yeah, big place in Sanford. And I don't want to overspeak it right now,
but they showed interest, so that's good.
They are definitely interested in us doing fight night, which could be it's something we want to do. We love doing it, so it's a workout.
Our first attempt did not go so well, but I think it was the venue.
Right. Yeah. See if you can pan your camera. Just pan it so that you're on the right side of the image. I know. Just go a little bit without moving the whole shebang.
Like that?
Pan means left or right. Now I want to go the other way. Yep, keep going. Keep going if you can. There you go. All right, that's good enough. And then I'm just gonna. I kind of wanted you over. Nope. I wanted you over here a little. There we go. That's it. And I'm just gonna put you over there. So. All right, so pardon that little interruption, folks. Anyway, so how's your week been? What's going on?
Crazy. Been busy at work, but that's nothing new. I mean, there's only 4 of us supporting the organization, so
yeah,
it's not like you ever get a break.
Is obviously the call center, is everyone's still working out of their house?
Yeah, they have maybe 3 to 4 people at any particular time on our side. There's another part of the company that's in there. They have quite a few people in there.
Right.
But on our side, pretty much everyone in corporate, maybe 5 people in the building.
5 people in a building that
Yeah,
used
on
to
mine,
house.
there's only 2.
That used to house how many people?
Well, the call center
Hundreds?
seats 800.
800 people.
Yeah.
So they used to have probably close to
They probably filled it pretty good at one time.
700 people
Now,
maybe. Yeah.
obviously they've had to pivot,
Yeah.
you know, and they've had to, you know, make some changes, you know, to retain productivity or
Right.
not productivity, but profitability.
Right.
So they're, you know, they kind of got rid of the stuff that was not profitable and they
Yeah.
weren't doing good at,
Yeah.
regrouped. And they seem like they're doing pretty good in the changes they made.
There's
So,
a lot of call center space that's
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine how many millions of feet of space has opened up in the last couple of years.
oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and of course, you know, first people just went home,
Mm-hmm.
and then the management decides, man, we can.
Yeah, this
we,
works.
We don't need to spend thousands, 10,000 a month on a space and all the other costs that come along with it.
Yeah. Well, the
power,
the
the
power,
internet,
everything. Yeah, all that stuff. So yeah, I think they're happy from that standpoint. I don't think
Right.
they'll ever go full force back into the office.
Okay.
Now the center they had originally, they had a lease for X amount of a month, X amount of years,
Right.
and the other company wanted them out.
Right.
I don't know that they do now though, because they probably have the same scenario. They've sent everyone home, or a lot of people are working from home. Now all of a sudden they don't need the space. So,
Right.
you know, I know they'd love to get out of it.
Right.
Because it's, you know, that's got to be $1 million a year that rent that space.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, you can easily just say, look, well, you know, I need a building that's, you know, a quarter of that size.
I couldn't, you know, I think about that when I was looking around for space, a
Mhm.
new space to be in. I look around and I go, man, I would love what I wouldn't do with 10,000 square feet of space.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just, and the people that I know, the filmmakers, the TV people that we're trying to create content, and the people that would love to get their hands on a space like that. Of course, you know, it used to be, you know, price has to match demand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
So the demand is gone.
I think it is.
There's no demand. Nobody wants 20, 30, 40, 50,000 square feet of call center space.
Mm-mm.
There's no demand.
Well, I mean, if you had products to sell, I guess, and needed people to come in, that would be a different story.
But there,
not a call center.
if it's an existing business, that's one half of it. The existing companies
Mhm.
that moved everybody home,
Yeah.
you know, there's no demand.
Mm-mm.
They want to get out of their lease,
Mm-hmm.
so they probably had to pay, and they want, you know, we only had a couple more years out of this, so
Mhm.
let's just pay the penalty
Yeah.
and get out, and that way they're not spending the other $5, $10,
Yeah.
$20,000 a month because your internet, you know, all that other stuff you don't have to pay for.
Appreciate the like, Mr. Don.
Oh, he's out there. How you doing, Donnie? You know, but I don't see deals out there. I don't see
Yeah,
space.
that's the funny part. You would think
You
there
know,
would be, right?
You would think there would be.
Because they want to rent them again. Because they know over time they can attrition the price up.
Right,
But
right.
I am really surprised at that.
You can, even if it's a 10% a year,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and gut it, and let's get the space back in full, and keep the board or the owners, the investors, the
With
whatever.
some kind of profitability.
Let's get so we're not bleeding at least.
I have to wonder if that's going to backfire.
By not doing that?
Well, because all these people that are holding on to these spaces, like the guys you were talking to, say, "I'll never sell this. I make too much money on it."
You know,
It's like, well, yeah, but if you keep charging so much money, you're not going to be renting it.
An entire floor of a building. I mean, what else do you put in that?
Yeah, right.
You dice it up, you chop it up, and all
Correct,
of a
yeah.
sudden, now what we noticed in the last couple of years were the e-space.
Yeah.
You know, where someone took a floor of a building, and
Yeah.
we've done an episode where we walked through
That was kinda
serendipity,
cool. That was
and
kinda
it was cool. It was cool, and
It's
it
downtown.
was.
It's got to be expensive.
And you know what? That was the downside. I loved it because it was, for me, it was 24/7, and I don't keep normal Monday through Friday 9 to 5.
Yeah, yeah.
So I liked that place. I liked the price.
Mhm.
But after a couple months, I got out.
Yeah.
You know why? Well, because of the parking. It was like,
Nightmare.
now there's a place over in Winter Park that's set up very similar to that. But every time I start talking to them about their schedule, their hours,
Yeah.
they sphinctered up, and it was like, no,
we're closed at
you're going to be
9.
out at 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's not,
That's like
not
a
working.
waste of space.
But what I liked about them were they had offices all over the world.
Yeah.
So I could travel and
Timeshare.
utilize. It's not even a timeshare.
Well,
it's
I mean,
like
theory
it's
of,
like owning a place in all these places.
Nice.
Which would be great if you traveled or if you just wanted to travel, but you still had to kind of check in once in a while.
Sure.
So being able, if I go to Europe, and I really need to kind of go and check my email, stuff like that. So, what's up? What caught your eye? What's going
Appreciate the
on?
like, Maria.
Oh, Maria's out there. Nice to have you.
Nobody wants to talk to us.
I know. Everyone's
for
just
that?
liking, just,
Did you make everyone mad, Dean?
Huh?
Did you make everyone mad?
I must have. I must have. But,
I don't know them, so I can't make them mad.
so, but yeah, we noticed that they're taking, but I mean, you can't convert all that into e-space.
But even
There's just
still,
not that much demand.
It's still a lot of square footage to do that with, so they really have to be pulling people in to be able to afford it as well.
And what they did to that Flora Serendipity Labs, they must have spent
Oh, they had to.
$500,000,
they had
$1 million. That must have been $1 million
A bunch of
upgrade.
desks, everything.
Just
Yeah,
to get everything looking like it
Yeah.
was like, a really cool place to work, and it
Yeah.
is. It looks like a really cool place to work, but
Yeah.
still, they had to invest in it. So obviously they wanted to make and downtown has got half a dozen of those companies.
Yeah.
So they're doing it, and
It's just the parking deal that's kind of a.
the parking,
It can
yeah.
be a
So
deal
that
breaker.
place over in Winter Park, that other place I
Mhm.
looked at, same basic price. The hours are not as great,
Mhm.
but parking was free.
Okay,
They had just
yeah.
a big old
A nice
parking
lot,
lot.
yeah.
Much like my place, I have a big old parking lot.
Yeah.
And when I want to invite 100 people over,
You can fit them in.
yeah, I don't have to. Of course, I could start charging parking.
Well,
You
have
know,
to pay someone to stand up front and collect
this morning I'm at the Citrus Club downtown,
Mhm.
which is the high-rise executive lounge, members only kind of thing. But they
Gotcha.
also have convention space, really oddly shaped convention space. That's another story. But I did a day and a half over there,
Mhm.
and the first day I was over there last night, went in to load in, and then I'm leaving, and they didn't validate parking, so I'm like, get to the gate, I'm there for 5 hours, $18,
Oosh.
and that's not even expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
That's actually kind of cheap.
Yeah, I think
In the grand scheme of things, you go places and you're $20-$30 for parking, and I'm like, that's another business model. Drop the buildings and just put up a parking lot for
near a building.
near a building.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
True.
got 2 buildings, they're both empty. Drop one, now you got a parking lot for the other one. And
What's going on,
downtown.
talent?
Oh, Talon's in there. Hey, how you doing?
Kind of spaces are we talking about? We're just talking about companies that are renting out, like we call them e-spaces, right? They're kind of like
We've been
on the
talking,
fly
yes,
and,
yes. So we've been talking about just a recap, just for talent. This is what we do for our viewers. Yes, we were talking about all the call centers that have closed down. It created such a surplus, an inventory, and yet we don't see that space diminishing.
Mm-mm.
And there's no demand for it. So what do you do when you have an office building that used to house 1,000 people?
Yeah.
And their computers and phones and all that, and now they're empty.
Yeah.
And yet I don't see the value, the price, because anytime when I've been looking over the last so many months, everyone's still got their, I need $20 a square foot or
Yeah,
$20, $30 a square foot. And there are apps too that you can go run around and look at what the value is, and you don't see the price matching the demand.
I wonder if that changes when the housing market finally takes a correction. I wonder if the square footage on businesses changes at that point.
You would think it would have to, but I mean, I think if anything, the housing market is increasing the rental,
Yes.
the housing rental market.
Yeah.
You know, that is like, oh,
My
they're
value keeps going
filling
up in my house. Yeah.
rental price, 2-bedroom
Apartment.
apartment.
Probably like 16,
Brenna just,
1800.
she's saying it's closer to 2,000 a month,
Ooh.
and it's not nothing that special.
No. Ouch.
It's not that special, and people, you know, and yeah, and it's like now they got in. They grandfathered in like 2 years ago when they moved in, so they're not paying that.
Yeah.
But they're saying the new units are going out. The same units going out for like $400-500 more
Oof.
than they're paying for.
Yeah.
So you know what's coming for them.
Yeah.
That means every year when
Rent's
they
gonna go up.
re-sign, it's going to go up maybe 10-20%, which
Yeah.
you kind of expect a little bit, cost of living and stuff like that. But again, that demand is incredibly high.
Yeah.
And inventory is low, which drives the price up. Here you have all these office buildings that are empty. Nobody wants to get in, at least for the prices they're asking. So what do? You know, Russia throws us into war, holds his, keeps the gasoline.
Yeah.
You know, because they're one of the big oil producers. So he's hanging on to that stuff. And now guess where we're at with gas, you know, the highest they've ever been. And
Cost me $15 the other day to fill up.
to fill your motorcycle, that used to cost you, what, $10?
$8.
$8, yeah. That's
Doubled.
You know. So, yeah,
Still
I don't
affordable,
want to
but-
get into my perception of what's going on in Eastern Europe is probably completely out of whack. And but all I do is I see what's on the pump right now.
Yeah.
And doesn't look like whatever skirmish is going on over there is going away anytime soon.
No,
I'm
it
hoping they just run out of ammunition.
Yeah, right.
You know, if nothing else, just run out of fucking ammunition. So we're talking about the real estate and why? Because I'm in my new digs and you know, I'm, you know, it's the value here. I'm looking at it and going, yeah, this is where I had to be. I had to do it. I had to get out of my house. I just couldn't stand being in my house anymore.
Yeah, we have a little more room here. Feels
We
a little
have
more
a
room.
lot of more room here. I probably have close to the size of my house.
No, maybe actually.
Within a couple 100 feet difference of my actual house. And
Pretty
you know,
close,
it's just
actually.
an open.
Just no walls.
It's completely, yeah. So I'm kind of going, wow, this is a lot of room.
We
Of
got
course,
a chalkboard too.
even
That's
though I
cool.
got more square footage, my house is kind of walled in. You know, there's a bedroom, a couple of bathrooms, a kitchen, a dining room. You know, and it's just kind of nowhere near what feels like the size here. I could, you know, from this I could start my own cult. I
She
don't know.
says the wall matches your shirt exactly.
I guess so. We haven't painted yet. George has got a chalkboard
I
behind
got a
him.
chalkboard. I can't wait
And
to use that.
we're gonna start putting stuff up, and he's gonna be Mr. Peabody, and he's gonna go up and give us his little explanations of some of his crypto mining business. So class,
Class may start.
you
someday
know,
soon.
class, put down all writing utensils, and pay attention.
My
you
little
know.
stick.
We'll have some fun with that, but yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I grabbed the wrong color shirt. So what? Sue me. Who said that anyway? You're on my list.
Maria.
Maria, shame on you for remarking about my wardrobe. That's just a massive faux pas that I can't handle. So anyway, I'm gonna get a drink here.
Don says, but you don't have a pool at the new place.
I still got my pool. Still got my pool. I'm still putting water in it. I'm waiting for the rain.
I was about to say.
I didn't
you don't have
want
worry
to
about
dump a
that
bunch of
soon.
money in water going into the pool when I know it's going to fall out of the sky any moment.
It's been
now.
raining like crazy in the last couple of days. I'm
Not on my
surprised.
side of town.
Oh, really?
Not on my side of
Oh, my
town.
goodness.
I'm getting it's just spitting.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not coming down hard at all.
It poured yesterday like something else.
So yeah, this whole thing, I mean, you know, this week I've been seeing a lot. And I'll start with the first thing I noticed this week is Neighbor.com.
Okay.
And let me jump over to Neighbor.com. I've been seeing TV commercials for Neighbor.com. And if you see
So
it,
obviously
hit the button
they're-
because I'm like,
What do you mean hit?
no, I'll hit it. I'll hit
Okay.
it. It's fine. Boom. Oops. All right. No, that's
Now I
not
gotta
it.
move over.
Now there it is. So Neighbor.com.
Maximize this so I can see what you're doing.
You can make us even a little smaller. No, we're
No, that's
already
fine.
small.
I just maximize it because I can't see.
Right. So Neighbor.com, I'm seeing TV commercials, or at least on through my streaming VOD channels. That Neighbor.com, basically you can turn your house, if you have extra space,
Into money.
into money. Meaning if you have a garage that you're not using much of, or a basement. Of course, in Florida we don't have basements, but and you can rent it to your neighbors. Make money off your neighbors. So they're out of space. You got space. You've got a big yard. You want to have them park their RV in your backyard. You can make money doing this. And I'm seeing TV commercials. I've been seeing them a lot.
I can put
Just
a
in the
gate on
last
another
week or
side
two.
and let them come park their RV back there. I don't care.
Yes, you could.
I got a huge yard.
Yes, you could. You know. So yeah, people are. You know, obviously they came out with an app that you can convert any space you have into rentable space.
So it's one of these type places that they handle the insurance and everything, and
like, yes, that's
Yeah.
what I caught.
There's a
that
lot of
they
sites
that
like that
they that they definitely, you know. Now, funny thing is I've been renting at a normal rental space. The
Yeah.
orange doors, you push them up and you get to your stuff.
I wonder if this would have been cheaper.
Well, I mean, you still got to find somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I pulled out of my old studio and I moved in, I filled up. I had a 10 by 10 by 10 room.
I know I was there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm explaining this for
Okay.
everybody, for my brother and Maria and Talent. So you know, and then had to fill it up. And of course, you know, they start you out. They made me insure it. They made me buy insurance,
Oh, and the
like my
rental
own
place?
liability in case they burn my place down.
oh wow,
My stuff.
was it expensive?
No, it was probably $10-20, but when you're already paying 120, 130 with tax.
Every month it was $10-20.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They made me buy insurance. And I'm like, I don't want my stuff insured because,
Yeah, right. Let someone steal it.
yeah, let them steal it. You know? And
Worst I lose is a lock.
in theory, yeah, I don't know why they were really force feeding me the insurance. Probably getting me to pay for their insurance.
Probably, or
You know,
just
probably
in case you
getting
don't
me to-
pay, the insurance probably covers that too.
No, I don't think that, because they just take my stuff and they send it out, and
So
then,
for
then
long.
they put it on a television show called Storage Wars, and you know, which I've been watching again lately. But no, it's, you know, and then so for about 4 months, it was like that. I was paying about $140 a month, and then a few months ago they sent me a notice saying they were going to raise my monthly. I'm like,
Oh, did they?
it went up to like $180.
Ooh.
So I'm so glad I'm getting out.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just about out, filling this place up, but I'm just about out. And now, you know, I'm thinking, okay, well, there's, you know, man, that adds up. So a thing like Neighbor.com, you know, granted, you know, you still have to trust your neighbors, but if there's an
Sure.
insurance policy so your neighbors don't steal your crap,
Yeah.
then what you can do is you can, you know, at least then you're insured. But yeah, I'm sure it comes with its own little,
Sure.
you know, they show in the commercial, they show, you know, people. I suppose I could probably pull it up on YouTube, and you know, what
See if there's any reviews on it.
No, just no, a commercial, you know,
Oh,
so you
gotcha,
can kind of see
gotcha.
that. So, but they don't pay us to advertise them, so
Yeah.
we'll
But it
we'll
is
let
interesting.
it slide.
I mean, it's a good side hustle for someone that's looking to
That's
make
got-
some money.
It's got space.
Yeah.
You got a piece of grass. You want someone's got an RV to, you know, to park in your
I
neighborhood.
will say though, I don't think I've ever driven in any neighborhood where someone had a garage open and they actually had space in it.
Right. That's another. Especially you got kids.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got 10 years worth of toys. Land of misfit toys in
6
every
month rule.
garage. Yeah.
Throw it away.
I could go in your garage right now
Oh,
and find
yeah.
stuff probably when your kids were in diapers.
Probably.
So, and then that kind of, other things that kind of sparked, but the neighbor thing was a lot. The other commercial I saw this week was for the Ford Maverick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The Ford Maverick. I'm not sure where it is here. Let me find it.
I really think
Coinbase.
that, we were kind of talking about that a little
Ford
bit before
Maverick.
the show, and
Oh my goodness. So Ford Maverick, and I went to their website and I looked, and it's like a base price of $20,000,
which is cheap.
which is actually cheap for a pickup truck.
Yeah, well,
'Cause
yeah.
a pickup truck is a business for a lot of people.
It looks like it's got a small bed on it.
Yeah,
but
it's
still,
a shorter bed. It's a short bed. And it kind of reminds me of
but you can tow. So
the Ford Sport Track.
okay.
It kind of reminds me of that, and they probably discontinued that. But so get this, some sort of hybrid 4-cylinder engine in this.
Okay.
And it gets, what I saw, it gets like 40 miles to the gallon city.
That's nice. They're obviously doing something
Yeah.
to, because I know that some of the newer technology they put in
Yeah.
is it shuts down cylinders.
Based on...
like on the, I don't know if it was, I
Yeah.
think it was Chevy. They have this technology built in where if you're cruising, even at 60,
Right.
it can adjust your cylinders how they're firing, which saves gas. Now it's nothing like that, obviously, but for what they were, big trucks. I don't remember what the technology was, but that's a nice looking little vehicle.
It's actually not bad. It's like I said, even with a few additionals, this one says starting at 21.4. They have 3 versions of it. There's the XL, XLT, and the Laredo, I think, is it the Laredo? I don't know. Anyway, but I'm looking at it and I'm a little drool corner of my mouth. But I remember, now you
Dean's
didn't
been
know
getting
what
the
it
car
was, but
fever lately.
Ford used to have a Maverick. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to find it.
I don't remember, but if I saw it, I'd probably go,
Ford
now I know what you're talking about.
Maverick,
Car,
CK,
maybe.
car. So I think it was out in the 70s, and
Oh, I got 2022.
no, this is still. But
Probably got to click images.
let me click images and find it. I didn't look. All right, there it is, the Ford Maverick. Look at that.
Yeah, no,
Look at
I
that. You
kinda
got to
remember.
remember, if you're in your pushing 50, you remember the Ford Maverick. It was probably during the fuel crisis in the late 70s.
Almost looks like a Datsun.
They came out with cars weren't big. They were sizing them down. I think this is one of Ford's earlier, compact cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, and now, I mean, that car would be really cool.
Yeah.
I would love to get my hands on that car now because it's kind of got shapely and looks like a Dodge Dart kind of, it's got some, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so they rebranded the Ford Maverick and made it a pickup truck, and I like the price. I like the mileage.
Maria said she used to drive one in high school.
Oh, you had one. What color was it? It was either green because I think they only made the factory green. That was it. The green.
Just like that car over there.
And then the white one with the blue stripe. I think the white one with the blue stripe, if you remember the original Charlie's Angels,
Oh God.
I think one of the Angels actually drove this car.
Huh.
I
that.
could probably Google that one, but yeah, 1970 to 77, Wikipedia shows it, and but green was the car. It was that Ford Maverick green. These are really updated, sporty versions.
Said white with avocado green color fabric, I guess.
Avocado.
Interior.
I'm sorry. In my dictionary, avocado and car colors are there. You might as well be on different planets here. I'm sorry, avocado.
That's funny.
I had a fuchsia Maverick. I'm sorry, I'm making fun of you, but no, we don't go avocado when it comes to cars. It just you can do that for your anything. But
76 Maverick.
yeah, I think I almost bought one time, an old Maverick. It was either that, it was one of the Mustangs, one of the really right around 77, 78 Mustang actually.
Well, back in the day, they
changed.
were affordable.
Well, but they changed. They changed it to a car that looks like the Maverick here.
Gotcha.
Mustang decided that they were going to make an economy car. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, so I'm looking at it going, wow, can I do this? Can I buy this car? And I love the mileage. That's the only because
you're talking about the new Maverick.
The new Maverick,
okay.
right?
You still got the old one on the
screen.
screen.
I would love to have an old Maverick, but these Mavericks here are probably $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 just because they're vintage.
Yeah,
they're collectors' items now. But the pickup, 40 miles to the gallon.
That's like great.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
That just speaks to me, And it's
got
only
a good cover for it. You
and
can
it's
carry
under
all your equipment if you need to.
Get what you need under $25,000, and
yet buy it.
Huh?
Your brother said buy it.
Oh, they have a leasing. I could lease it for like $300 a month.
Okay, well, I mean,
couple grand down to cover the whatever.
Allow in your case, allow your business to lease it in your golden.
I might lease it $300 a month, and I'm already paying $100 a month on
gas
in my car, and I double.
You're gonna get a discount.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm looking at that, and of course, where am I gonna find the money to, because I'm not used to having a car payment. I got old cars, and not the fun old cars like an old Maverick, but
Yeah, we were talking about that when when we originally were talking about you getting into NovaTech.
Right.
And we started doing some numbers and figured, well, hey, if I had this much money in it, what would it do for me?
Right.
And I'm at in the 4,500 range because I've just pulled some cash out.
Yep.
I bring in about 135 a week.
So that's the thing. We've been talking about a lot of these programs, and NovaTech is the one I got into with you. You said pull cash out. Did you have any trouble pulling cash out?
It's in progress. It's a long, they quote, I don't know why. I'm assuming it's because of the way they pay their commissions, but 14 days, business days.
So almost 3 business weeks.
Yeah. And a guy I work with who's in NovaTech just got his, and he pulled out like 2,000. So there's no issue with money coming out.
After the initial, so when I got in, I'm in for how many months?
Well, it's 90 days.
90 days. So I have
no penalty if you come after 90 days. If you do it before, I think it's like 15%. So.
Oh, okay. So,
which I know my buddy did. I'm like, why are you taking money?
So
out
when
now?
you get into a company like NovaTech, you're in for at least 90 days, penalty free, and then getting out, you said close to 3 weeks. 3 business weeks, 14 days. So, and you had a friend that just got out.
Yep, he just pulled some out. He said his took 13 days, 13 business days.
Nice.
But no issues. The money's there. It's not a problem with the money being there. It's just the
Ron.
It's just the time frame.
Been waiting for him to call me back, and he decides to call during the show. If I could put him on the air, I would. Oh, he doesn't do on live.
I'll call you later.
Yeah. So and some of the other ones you said,
Yeah, so I'm in another one called Austin Trading Group.
Yep.
The other one's called BS Apps X.
Yeah. How's Austin doing for you?
Oh, great. I
So
mean,
you're collecting what, 2% a day?
2% daily, Monday through Friday. They don't do anything on the weekend, which is fine. And
so that only adds up to 10%. Weren't you getting 12.6?
That's a different one.
Oh, okay. All right. I remember I'd say 12. You said 12.6. 12.6.
I'm actually pulling out of that one, but just because I don't like their
payouts
processes. and the way they're handling. I've actually switched to another one, which is also 12%.
I think, I've talked about this with at least 2 other people within the last week. And the first thing they said to me was, sounds like I'm gonna go old now. Sounds like a pyramid scam. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know if you know what a pyramid scam is, unless you've been caught into one. Pyramid scams usually, you get a small group of very rich people. They start something. They build a company. And then they start bringing people in. And, of course, the pyramid begins when you've got the smallest group of people making the largest amount of money.
Yeah.
And then they start involving other people, and the pyramid gets bigger. Now, technically, a pyramid does not mean scam.
Correct.
What are pyramids? Avon is a pyramid.
Okay, yeah.
Avon's a pyramid. I don't think anyone will look at Avon and go.
Amway was too, wasn't it?
Amway was a pyramid. Was or is?
Around?
They might still be around,
I don't
but
know. I haven't heard anything about them in
Amway
years.
definitely. What else is out there? But Avon's been around for decades.
Oh yeah.
And there's a bunch that you would
probably going strong.
Basically, it means that you'll make money if you refer others. I think the Girl Scouts is kind of a pyramid. Maybe not. But all I'm saying is that it's a referral business.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can call it that. You can call it multi-level marketing because you're getting paid on levels beneath you. The problem is some people would get really fat, overspend, being that they're at the top, and they want to have they want it fast.
Yeah,
and it usually happens fast. So they whatever they're doing, they sell nothing. Okay, or they find a product. I'm selling these cookies right here. I'm selling a cookie.
Don't they sell it as education?
Whatever the travel. I've been involved as a filmmaker, helping companies doing travel, and yes, these guys are a little shady. They come in, they start talking a big game. I actually got burned by a pyramid only because they left a bill with me.
Oh, gotcha.
I got a little money, but I didn't get all of it. So it kind of, 3 days out of my life, I only got half the pay and blah, blah, blah. There you go. So the scam is really that. I don't think most of them intended it for it to be a scam, but because you've got CEOs and executives, in the top of this pyramid, and they want to spend because they have to make it seem like, oh, we're making money.
We're doing something.
You can make $1 million in real estate. Be like me.
$1 million.
And if you remember the '90s television infomercials, that's when a lot of this stuff happened because they would come in, they'd sell you, well, buy my books or my audio tapes, and you can do this. And of course, I want you to bring other people in, and I'll pay you, and you'll get paid on their commissions and their commissions, and you want to bring people in. And in theory, Avon, they want you to recruit.
Sure.
Avon, they're not a scam. They've been around for decades.
And they do sell a product.
And they do. I think Tupperware is another one.
Yes.
Tupperware.
I was just about
We
to say.
love Tupperware. I did a trade show for Tupperware, and at the end of the show, I must have got $300 worth of free swag. It was great. And they put out all this Tupperware. It was great. So, pyramid doesn't necessarily mean scam.
Sure.
It's only sometimes you don't know when the scam part's going to hit you.
Yeah, correct.
And what happens is if these CEOs of this top of this pyramid, they overspend.
They're fat enough.
They overspend, and then they go, we're
plug.
set. Let's just kind of close the business tomorrow, and they can do it and be invisible in a day. And then they can start up another one the next day and go, we kind of screwed up. Let's just close that one and start another one tomorrow. And we've already made a bunch of money, but there's no more money to get. So that's usually what. So I'm telling these guys about it, and I'm going, look, all it means is commission. First of all, don't get in heavier than you're willing to lose.
Correct.
Because some of these guys, I'm sure they're not completely above board. They're traders. They're
Correct.
basing their business on trading in Forex, I think. or
Forex
stock
and
market.
sometimes
Yeah.
crypto. It depends on
Yeah.
their model.
And
Most
Uh,
of the ones I think I'm doing is Forex.
and if you do your research and you find, they've got a good track record, you find people that have been doing it for a year, 2 years,
Sure.
and they're making money, then, if you believe, So, yes, I've had two people this past week that sounds like a pyramid. And I'm like, well, okay, you can keep your money in the bank
Yeah, and not make any.
and make 0.4, 0.3% interest.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake that people can make is not taking profit along the way. If you're just assuming that you're just going to keep putting money and it's going to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing,
Right.
you're setting yourself up for
So
failure.
I'm
I'm actually taking profit
You're
now.
pulling
so.
down 10% a week.
Yeah.
And which means you put $100 in, guess what? You're getting $10 every week just to keep $100. It doesn't take long for you to break even.
Yeah.
And it's coming
Just 10
back
weeks.
to you in crypto,
Yes.
which means,
I can do whatever I want with it.
yeah, the money's back to you.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to compound that, you'll float it back in.
Sure.
And, of course,
Right now I am doing that, yeah.
Yeah, you'll
for a
float
while.
it back in. So now the next week you're making 10% on $110. And we've done the math. We've sat here with a calculator and keep adding 10%.
It gets
compounding
mind-boggling
every
pretty
week.
quick.
Boy, that money
Yeah.
doubles, triples, quadruples, and
and I think a lot of people see that and they go, "That's not possible." And I said, "Yeah, well, because you're basing that on looking at your average bank's model, and you realize that it's not possible in an average bank, but these guys can do it."
well,
I would imagine they're making a lot more than the 2% they're promising you, and I haven't had anyone skip a beat yet.
here's the thing. So you could go to Dean Witter or J.P. Morgan, whatever those big,
Sure.
those big New York firms, and let somebody you can put money with them and
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, does it
fee you though?
right? And are you guaranteed to make money?
I don't think you are.
So you could lose all your money.
I'm pretty sure all
So
of
if
them
I
have
went
the
and,
same.
if I went and sent 10 grand over and says I want to buy stock in blah blah blah,
Yeah.
or I want you to manage it through a
fund,
hedge
or
fund
whatever,
or something
sure.
like that, and what could happen? Tell me, what could happen?
You could lose your money.
You could lose
You
your
could
money.
make a lot of money.
And what do they do about that?
Thank you. That's all.
Oh, right, because they're making money on the trades and
make
not
money on
whether you
commissions.
make money on it or
Nope.
not.
Yeah.
So I give them money, they make money on that.
Well, so I think there is a such thing as, I may say this term wrong, so apologize. I think it's fiduciary. Fiduciary means that they're working for your benefit. So like
Right.
like an the insurance
Which
companies
means
where you're both in.
which means the
they're
SEC
fiduciary.
can look at them and
Yeah,
make
and
sure
go-
they didn't do anything.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they can go, hey, I got this really cool investment over here, and they put your money into something that loses, and it's a bad deal, and it was done with false intents. Someone that's fiduciary would probably get in trouble for something like that. Someone that's not has no.
Doesn't mean you'll get your money back though.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
That money
Correct.
can still go.
Yeah,
So
no, it's
you want to
still
put your
gone.
money with So what I'm seeing this is they're smaller groups
Yes.
of investors,
And smaller investments that can grow.
and in a way you're staking them
Yes.
to.
I am relying on them to do their part.
You're in a way you're staking them, at least in a small format. You're not
Sure.
giving them $100,000. You're giving them a few hundred.
$100, $300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I need to go over that with the way it's going.
You
Why?
know, as long as you're getting 10% is, and
Yeah.
if you spread it across a few of these, and there's a lot of these guys out there.
I'm finding more and
Yeah,
more all
a
the
lot of
time.
these, and they're paying out.
And I'm
you
going
know,
to test everyone I can.
paying out as long as they're paying you every month,
Yeah.
every week, and
Sometimes daily.
in coin or
I
daily.
sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's daily. I kind of like the daily ones, but
I like the big numbers. If
Yeah.
if this guy's paying
10%.
10%, what if I had 10 grand with him? I'd be pulling down $1,000 a week
Yeah.
in commissions.
So it would be 200 a day.
That is sexy. That is
Sure.
very sexy. But
And it's
again,
still 10 weeks to recover that
you'd
money.
have to be willing to
Yes.
risk your 10 grand. Or you find a half a dozen of these guys
Yeah.
spread out $200-300 a
Sure.
pop, $500 a pop across a few of these guys. You're still collecting the same amount of money. You're just not risking it all with one person.
So yeah, I started with 300 in two different platforms, so 600 total. Right off the bat, I was, $30 a week.
Yeah.
Like clockwork.
And what you didn't do is you didn't, under your name, you didn't put any links,
We
so
did it again.
it did it again.
Next
so,
week, I
you know.
promise.
But also too, yes, it's a pyramid, which means if you use George's link to get into this thing,
There are commissions, sure.
then he'll get a commission. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Who else is paying commission? You're getting commissions with Amazon. You're getting commissions with
Technically, if I give you Robinhood, which is free trading, you get a free stock.
Yes.
Same difference.
Coinbase, you get commissions.
Yeah.
Now we're into crypto, which is fake. So sarcasm.
I like fake, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just something different, and you can be afraid of something different. Doesn't mean it's real or fake or anything. It just means it's different. You just never heard of it.
Sure.
But you still buyer beware, caution.
Of course.
The caution sign is out. You definitely want to first not go all in.
Yeah.
And said, well, I'm going to cash in the kids, college fund.
Well, the newest one
not going to go all in.
$100.
Yeah.
I will risk $100 to test something out.
Yeah.
I will.
And then get your $10 a week.
Yeah.
And do that for 10 weeks and get your money back and then let it ride.
Yeah.
Then you haven't lost anything, right?
No, you're just riding. I mean, you're riding your commissions.
And then then you let it build up,
Or have a number in mind. Let's say you build up and say, all right, well, every grand I put or 1,100 I get in there, maybe I'll take out 500. Whatever the number is. So yeah, I'm actually really liking these programs so far.
Yeah.
Have I gotten burned? Sure. But the percentage of burn I've gotten is so small, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
I won't even look back. It's, I got into something that I thought was a good program, had a website, looked good, but it wasn't. So, it happens.
Yeah.
But only one so far out of the ones I've been looking at. And I have probably another 6 or 7 that I will, once I build up enough money in these other two, I will start moving some of the money from them into the others to start them. And then I'll build them up.
Wow.
I mean, imagine if I had 5 to 10 platforms all bringing in $1,000 a week or even 500 a week.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to do. I mean, like I say, I'm already at 21 a day between the two platforms. And I'm pulling some money out of NovaTech.
And that's coming to you in crypto.
That goes straight to my wallet.
Right into Bitcoin.
Every day.
Yeah.
The little pop-up says, hey,
got paid.
We paid everyone out. I go look, and sure enough, I got a pending payment.
Yeah.
And it's $21. And hopefully next week, depending on when I get this money back from NovaTech.
So these guys,
I'm going to be at $200 a week.
I'm sure these guys could go work for Dean Witter or any of those, but
they got their own gig. Why would they?
Start their own shop.
Yeah.
They, instead of worrying about
nobody else's rules.
Right. They do their thing, and they seem to be profiting on it. And I'm like, okay.
And I would imagine they're making, all the money going in, basically we're paying for them to get a commission.
Right.
And why not? I don't have a problem with that. Hey, if you're giving me 2% and you're honoring your word and it's 10% a week, you can't get that anywhere else.
It could spend any kind of money on something and expect, all right, a small business, there's an element of risk.
Sure.
I'm going to go and I'm going to sign a lease for a year or 2 or 3.
What about all the restaurants that opened up right at the pandemic?
Restaurants, you could say, well, I just spent $100,000 equipping a kitchen in a restaurant, and now
the city closed me down.
Pandemic, and now I'm shut down. And you can go, well, I lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now you can do the same thing with this. If it's determined that you're going to lose money, then you're going to lose money. I've been looking this past week, changing tracks again. I've been looking this past week on other things because, we've always kind of, our friend out there with the hot dog cart, she's still out there doing her thing. I haven't seen her in a while, but I know where she is.
I saw a couple of posts for her lately.
And, I was looking at it and going, I've got an extra trailer. And then I started looking because I might have to rent one for a film shoot I'm doing. So I started looking around, and of course I started finding film. I started finding like ice cream trucks and beer trailers, and
Dunk tank.
I'm like, oh, dunk tank. When the hell I remember seeing a dunk tank
I
for that?
rented one in the backyard once.
So I'll hit some of these Facebook posts because
I didn't tell you the story about that, did I?
what's that?
So we had a party in the backyard.
Oh,
We rented a dunk tank.
It wasn't this. Looks like
Oh.
our old buddy Joe is letting his hair grow out. Hellfire Club. So, Joe, yes, you're representing well. Okay, get a haircut, you hippie. But yeah, that's
yeah. So we rented a dunk tank for the backyard,
right.
and my dog Indy. He's
Yep.
he's a pit mix.
A little high strung.
He's a big dog.
Let me go to the.
He loves water. Of course, I go down to the dunk tank. I'm coming back up, and I have a dog literally in my face. He climbed this thing
Right.
in one leap, and I had to catch him.
Oh.
I had to kind of, let him down a little, kind of gracefully, but
So this pops up, Of course, I'm on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm
That's
typing
cool.
in. I typed in like a ice cream truck for rent because I thought I might have had to rent one. And of course, this pops up, and I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And it was like, "Oh, it's
kind
a
of looks like a
dunk
torture
tank.
chamber.
Somebody's renting for $50 a day, and it looks like a really cheeseball trailer, with obviously the left side is a tub for water, and then some type of.
I'm trying to figure out what all that other stuff. I guess
I
that's
know.
that's the
looks like you're sitting. They swing that around,
air of the
and you hit
target.
it with a ball,
There you go.
and boom, someone gets dunked.
There's probably a gate right here on this side.
And I gotta tell you, it looks a little nasty. Don't think I would ever, dunk tank for rent here, 50 to 70, 75 for a
75
weekend.
over a weekend, yeah.
But you know what? Doesn't look like they got that much money into it.
Probably not.
You could probably do all that if you're a little bit MacGyver.
The
and
tub's
you can,
probably the most expensive.
So it looks like you could probably do that, and you could be in money in a few days. With an old trailer, an old beat up trailer. So kind of, this was one of the first things that hit me. I was like, well, it's not interesting for me, but it's interesting
Somebody
to
may.
talk about.
Sure.
So a dunk tank, someone made one and put it out on Facebook Marketplace as a daily renter kind of thing, which is kind of cool, as opposed to a bouncy house. And did you just rent a bouncy house?
We did, yeah. A slide, yeah.
How much did that cost you?
I didn't make the payment. I know my wife and her sister split it.
Probably
so
a couple
I'm not
$100
sure.
bucks.
Probably. And I actually talked to the guy.
Yeah.
And I was curious, because I would like to own one.
Really, a bouncy house?
Well, they're actually, he said it was like $2,500 to buy one.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is repairing it. But I was asking, I was like, how's he do that? And he says, yeah, we got this good guy. He walks inside of it when it's on,
Yeah.
zips himself back up,
Really?
fixes it, and then
Looks for
comes
the
out.
hole, patches it from the inside.
Because if I had one of my own, I wouldn't be worried. Because
Yeah.
my dog loves it. He will go all the way up to the top.
You're gonna have to put little booties on them, or else those nails.
Well,
will
that's
go
what
right.
I was wondering, and they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
Because the first one we did rent,
All right.
I ran up and he came right behind me. I'm like, uh-oh.
So I'm looking for an ice cream truck, and this pops up.
This is funny.
And
It looks
I
like a
don't
clown
know
car.
what that. There's a few pictures here I didn't look at before. So it looks like, man, I don't know what the hell this thing is. If it's
Clown car, I'm telling
like a modified golf cart, looks like it could be a modified golf cart that somebody just decided I'm going to build a
It
little.
looks like they took the seats out of it to make room to serve people.
No, it looks like there's a golf cart frame, and then they just built the whole thing on top of it. I don't know. I'm looking at it going, well, $60 probably a day. And I don't know if it's electric. It's got a steering wheel, so it's, likely it's
Something's
probably
gonna happen, yeah.
electric movable, and yeah. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, that's something.
That's
here,
kinda cool.
It's something I had never seen before, but clearly somebody made something, and likely, maybe that person who can make stuff like this says, I don't want to sit in it selling ice cream. I just want
I want to rent it.
I just want to rent it out.
Yeah, why not?
And if I can rent one, maybe I can rent two.
Sure.
And if I can rent two, I can rent four.
Well,
And we're all talking about renting our space out of our garage. We're talking about renting our cars,
cars, yeah.
our bicycles, our anything. our boats,
Pretty much
our anything you have nowadays, you can rent out and make some money. So I'm looking at this going, wow, this is crazy.
There's people that build businesses around that,
Yeah.
especially car rental.
The only thing now is, guess what? You don't have any more garage space because this stuff is going to be sitting in your garage. So
the question is, how many days is
all
it
right.
down?
Now this is a personal favorite.
Oh yeah,
A 2-position keg trailer. I've seen these at festivals.
oh sure.
And you get obviously you got to have a beer license to sell. But look at this. You've got a cooler. You've got 2 taps coming out the side, and basically what you sell a hand stamp, and you can come back to the or you put somebody in there with taking money and say, I'll pour your beer, and boom, there you go. Holds 4 to 6 half barrels, and looks like it's got the refrigerator right there.
Believe
And
it or not, the half barrels still have quite a bit in it.
yeah,
mean,
and I'm
that's-
sure once you go through a barrel, you can kind of gauge. Yeah, I'm going to need to go get another couple of barrels, to get through the day. But, imagine that. I'm sure I've seen 100 of these at Bike Week or something like that.
Sure.
So I'm looking at this going, wow, they didn't really give a price
I
on
was
how
about
much.
to say, how much is this one?
Well, people don't do this right, but it says ships for $100. But I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe $100 bucks a
Ships?
day.
What?
I don't know.
You put that thing in a FedEx truck?
I
Here's your
don't
beer
know.
keg.
Unfortunately,
and it pops
Facebook
open?
Marketplace isn't really geared, so people aren't doing the ads right,
Oh, I
or Facebook just doesn't provide that kind of
Yeah.
So, but looks like I see $500. Maybe that's a weekend. Maybe that's a day. I don't know. But beer always sells. I don't
Oh,
care
yeah.
where you are.
Sure.
You're selling beer, cold beer out of a tap.
Yeah.
You
have
know
customers.
that always sells. So if you're awesome event, and you know what, you just got to come up with a small trailer, make sure it's cold and can cool beer kegs, and you don't have to make the beer kegs. You buy them,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then when they're empty, you return them,
Yeah, yeah.
and you get full ones. And guess what? Well, so all you're doing is driving around a rolling refrigerator,
yeah.
making money. How simple is this? The trailer? Yeah, that's a $500 trailer. And then the box?
Yeah,
Well,
it
you
would
got to
take
probably
long to pay
fabricate
that
a
also.
box. And then, boom, there you go. Bob's your uncle. So,
It looks like a Barbie truck. She's probably talking about the last one.
yeah, that's funny. This guy, yeah, this is
I'd say it looks like a
funny
clown
as
car to me.
hell.
I'm waiting for 20 clowns to pop out of that
I
sucker.
totally would love it. Just love it. Someone decided I'm going to make something. I saw a guy there's a guy in my neighborhood, and he has a bicycle with a cooler on the front. You see those in the city in New York. The bicycle vendors, and
Sell
I
water
think,
out of 'em.
and I think he loads it up with dry ice, and I think he actually, rides his bicycle into an area and sells ice cream or something
Nice.
like that.
Nice.
And I see him, and he's in my neighborhood. I'm like, man, there's
Heck,
no
even
place.
water in a
There's no
parking
place
lot.
around here, but you know what? That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I see him once in a while.
That's
you know.
funny. I
So
mean,
let's
you
get
could
rid of
sell
that one.
water in a park or
Let's get rid of the
something,
dunk
or-
tank. Oh, this this
looks
caught
cool.
your eye.
This is cool.
Someone's got an enclosed trailer,
That
probably,
looks like a fairly long trailer too.
and equipped it with. Looks like they fabricated a bunch of arcade games into it.
You can build these. They're
Yeah.
not hard. You
Yeah.
can buy the PCBs and everything ready to go.
You can buy all the game
and it's not that expensive.
on a little motherboard, and
Basically.
then you hook your joystick and your buttons to it, and that's it. And then you hook a TV.
Yeah.
And so all they did was print out some designs for, it looks like Pac-Man and NBA and Mortal Kombat and all that. So, I mean, they stuck it in a trailer, and there's your party bus for whatever.
They actually have them where you can buy it with multi games on one.
Yeah,
Device.
but in this device,
Yeah.
you'd be like, let's just get a bunch of games
Oh,
and put it in a trailer, park it at a party, have a bunch of kids running around, or grown-up kids, because
Yeah.
these are games that I would love to have played. So
I mean, my
for
kids
us,
get into
for us
these,
grown folks,
even though arcades were not really around when they first started, they get into these games. Like they will, like if they can get a pass to
Yeah.
go somewhere all day,
yeah,
They'll enjoy it.
You ain't gonna see Fruit Ninja here, and that's
No.
even 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the games. These are classics, Pac-Man and
Tempest.
Dig Dug and whatever. So you know, so I saw that and I go $100. I don't know what $100 means. Maybe $100 a day, obviously, or a certain amount of hours. Says $50 fuel fee.
Ooh.
So, and it's not in this area because I've never heard of Sanilac County. So it's probably somewhere else. Machines inside are Metal Slug, NBA Jam, Pac-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja, Donkey Kong. Love Donkey Kong. Anyway, so there's a Frogger. Nice. So yeah, you know,
That's a
someone
great
did
idea.
that, and you know, the trailer is the easy part. Then they just got to go in, wire it, and maybe if it's in Florida, air condition it. And looks like a lot of electricity is
That's
going
what
through
I'm
here,
wondering.
so.
They got just generators running out into the back, or
They
what?
might.
'Cause
They might. Not that much, you know, to generate a.
Yeah, the screen is not going to take that much.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are a number of machines in there, so maybe
Yeah.
they got to have something to be generating.
Yeah.
Maybe this thing's outfitted with solar
This is
panels.
wonderful. Are those coin on the sides? Are those where you can stick a quarter in and play? I don't know.
I
Anyway.
would imagine they're probably hot wired to just work. But
Oh wow, it's 8 o'clock already.
Oh wow, really?
I think that's it. So yeah, I was in here kind of looking. I still never found
Yeah,
the
you were
one
trying to show me something.
I wanted to
and
show
you
you.
never
and
found it.
Oh, it's a margarita truck. We can get. It's still up on the stream, right?
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
yep.
So I'm thinking about actually building something because I'm going to have an extra trailer next
Yeah.
week, and I'm thinking, yeah, I could build something and maybe make it as a rental because I definitely don't want to be sitting out
No.
at an event trying to pedal. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. So, but no, I didn't. I am not seeing what I saw. But you know what I did see?
Maybe it's gone.
No, it was in Texas. When I go
Oh.
through the details, I'm like, how the hell am I looking at a local? I'm in my marketplace.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my filter says Orlando within 60 miles, and then Texas pops up. I'm like,
Someone's lying.
I can't, you know. But and then of course people are selling, you know. Most of the time you buy the trailer, you cut a window in the side, and after that you just figure out what you're gonna pedal.
Yeah.
You know,
Start building it out.
so yeah, I'm like you know, looks like fun. You know,
When you say
mobile restaurants are the age
When
that
you
we're
say
in.
fun, you mean you build it, someone else rents it.
I have it built and I make money with
Yeah,
it, and
okay.
somebody else does all the heavy lifting.
I mean, if you build the right utility, it'll rent. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, we're a sunshine state, and there's always events going on.
Oh my
Always.
God, year round. Oh, there's Joe again.
I can see it just be rented for someone that wants to make a business out of it at the flea markets.
Right.
I mean, I don't care what they do with it. Yeah, you got a place to pedal with.
Oh, you were wanting to talk about this, but
Yeah,
maybe
we
we'll
ran out of
save that
time. We'll
for
save
another
that for next week.
time.
I'll get some more information too, because it was kind of just an off thought.
There's
last minute.
neighbor. There's the Ford Maverick. Maria, if you're still with us, I would love to see a picture of your car. I had actually a Hornet, an AMC Hornet was my first car.
Oh wow.
It was orange and Bondo were the colors, but I love that car because it was my first car.
Mm-hmm.
My dad bought it right out of a junkyard,
Oh wow.
and the engine was full of water, rusted, and we got that sucker running. And
funny.
that was a great car. I loved it. But yeah, I was right. It was a '73 Hornet. It was a station wagon too. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I had that going on for me. So anyway, but yeah, Ford Maverick. Nice hearing that name come back around again. We're not going to talk about Coinbase and Bitcoin and all the coins because really, it's still all in the toilet. And that's it. That's for another topic of conversation. Hopefully, we'll get a better the swing back the other way when we're all kind of smiling, going, "Yes,
I think if the
money in
longer
the
it
bank."
stays this way, when it does swing back the other way, it's going to be strong.
The other vehicle too that just came out is the Hyundai Santa Cruz. That's in a sharp-looking pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually pretty
So you
nice.
get 40 miles a gallon.
I don't know. You know, I didn't look at that. There it is right there next to the Ford, the one on the left. You see that? Yeah, that
almost looks like
it's
an El
very,
Camino.
no, it almost looks like when Subaru came out with the
Yeah,
Brat.
yeah,
It looks like a Brat on steroids.
yeah.
But
You're right.
looks very similar in size to the, and you know, whatever. But so anyway, that's pretty much it. We'll be back at you again. Let me get out of this. Oh, look, there we go. Let's get back out of this. So what's down the road? What's coming?
More money,
More money.
more money, more
Okay.
money.
Okay. We'll
I
leave
mean,
it at that.
That's the
Looks
that's
like
the
a
plan
Barbie
as
truck.
I continue to add programs into my portfolio.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just sharing information. It's not really, I'm not, you know, asking anybody to invest. I'm just sharing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For me, it's going really good, but I have lots of big goals. So all this money coming in is gonna build things bigger for me. It's not all about this. It's just this is the money to get me elsewhere.
Right.
You know, out of debt for one. You know, everyone's got it. I don't want any more.
Well,
I'm preparing for being debt free
yeah, aren't we all?
and
Or at
and
least-
job free.
At least we're
hopefully.
talking about it, you know, and that's kind of what it is. If we're not talking about it, we're just, I don't know, swimming in this
Spinning wheels.
spinning wheels,
Mhm.
going nowhere. And I'd rather money that I'm sitting on instead of sitting on it. I'd rather take it for a ride.
Yeah.
So,
A good ride.
yeah, and without, you know, keep my risk down to a minimum.
Yes.
You know, don't
I'm
get a little
trying. I'm trying
too
that as well. I mean, I
crazy.
am building a couple up,
Yeah.
but I'm very close to the point where I'm going to utilize as well.
You know, if I've got 10 different companies or traders, you know, each of them I've amassed $1,000 on each.
Sure.
Pulling down 10%.
Yeah.
Adds up the same way, but it keeps each of them
At a lower risk.
at a lower
Yeah.
risk.
One could go away and it really wouldn't kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be fun, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't like.
But
really
if you've still, I mean, if you've got, you know, a big chunk of money out there, then you're still getting a lot of
Oh, sure.
dividend back, and
Yes.
you know, and get out of your risk, you know, get the money back as soon as you can.
Yep.
And then let it ride.
Yes.
Keep it so that the house
Absolutely.
doesn't, you know.
Yeah, when I get to the 200 a week, which is should be hopefully in the next week or two, depending on when I
Man.
get this other money, I will be pulling 120 out and then reinvesting 80.
So
So right there, I'll start. You know,
knowing how much you got in NovaTech,
Mhm.
would you think about
pulling more.
putting that over into a higher interest?
What I may do is I may build it up again.
Yeah.
And then maybe take out
then-
another 1,500 to
Yeah.
2,000 because it's still earning a decent amount.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm earning the same amount in the other programs,
Yeah.
which really actually I'm not too far off from now, maybe
Yeah.
I will. I still like NovaTech. It's still solid.
Yeah.
But it's not the highest earner.
No.
It's generally 3% a week instead of 2% a day. That's a huge difference in
Yeah.
numbers. So,
Well.
to diversify my risk, I will probably still keep it there.
Yeah.
But I may utilize some of it, you know, because technically, if we hit 3% with NovaTech consistently, my money should double in 6 months. I haven't been able to let it get that far because I have so many other opportunities coming up, and I don't want to put more of my own money into it. So I'm utilizing money that's making money to move it over.
Right.
So that's just my. Now, if I have some money come about, I may think about it, but I'm tired of having to buy to make it work. I want my money to buy it.
Yeah.
Not the money out of my bank. The money that's invested.
Sounds like a plan.
So yeah, working it.
At least until crypto comes back, and
That's why I'm not so worried because right now I only have to do the one-time transfer of the crypto,
right.
and technically I'm letting it work elsewhere.
Right.
So it's making money. Why do you know? Crypto would have to double and triple for it to make that kind of money.
Right.
So why do I care?
Yeah.
You know, I'll just utilize it where I'm at, and I have access to debit cards now that allow me to actually spend my crypto right through an ATM. So I kind of got the best of both worlds.
Okay. Well, That's all the crypto we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I got.
Everyone have a good night.
Thank you. Again, please, what's the big fun we say? Please like, follow, and share.
Come and see us again.
Yeah. And next week, hopefully next week or two, we should have our other counterpart here on the show. But anyway, that's all we got. Stay in touch. Let us know what you're, finding out there in the world as we're trying to make money with it. And we will see you. We will see you soon.
Have a good night.
Take care.